Welcome to the Health Inquiry. You may think of your brain as a train track. For most people, the train moves at a steady speed, stops exactly at the stations, and follows a predictable schedule. But if you have ADHD, your brain train is a supercharged bullet train. It moves incredibly fast, loves to explore scenic detours, and sometimes flies right past the brakes. For a long time, doctors and teachers thought attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, was just a school problem. They thought it only meant having trouble sitting still, losing your homework, or daydreaming in class. But science is changing fast. Doctors have discovered that ADHD isn't just about how you act or study, it's actually a whole body health story. Having a fast-moving ADHD brain changes how your body handles sleep, stress, energy, and even how it fights off illnesses. If you have a family member with ADHD, you are the ultimate pit crew for that fast-moving train. Let's look at the real science of what's happening inside an ADHD body and explore practical, everyday superpowers your family can use to stay healthy, happy, and strong together. Part 1. The fast-moving brain, the science inside. To understand how ADHD affects the whole body, we have to look under the hood. Our brains have a special control tower right behind our foreheads called the prefrontal cortex. Think of this tower as the brain boss. The brain boss is in charge of executive functions, which is a big scientific word for life skills like planning ahead, remembering a list of instructions, paying attention when things are boring, and pressing the brakes on your emotions when you get upset. Inside the brain, messages jump from one neuron, brain cell, to another using tiny chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. For an ADHD brain, two specific messengers, dopamine, the reward chemical, and norepinephrine, the alertness chemical, can be a bit sleepy. They don't pass messages as efficiently as they should. Because the dopamine signal is low, the brain starts hunting for excitement to wake itself up. This is why people with ADHD might crave sugary snacks, love video games, or act impulsively. They aren't trying to break the rules. Their brain is just starving for a burst of chemical energy. The whole body connection. Because the brain controls the entire nervous system, this chemical difference doesn't stay locked in the head. It travels down to the rest of the body. Scientists tracking thousands of people over decades have found that people with ADHD face extra physical challenges as they grow up. 1. The immune system overdrive. The nervous system and the immune system, your body's defense shield, talk to each other constantly. When the brain is always running fast, it can send mixed signals to the immune system. This causes low-grade inflammation, making people with ADHD much more likely to have asthma, severe allergies, or itchy skin conditions like eczema. 2. The sleep puzzle. Up to 80% of people with ADHD struggle with sleep. Their bodies don't release melatonin, the sleep hormone, at the normal time. Their internal clock is naturally delayed by an hour or two, making it very hard to fall asleep at night and even harder to wake up for school or work. 3. The stress toll. Because navigating a world built for regular brains is exhausting, people with ADHD experience higher levels of stress. Over many years, this constant stress can wear down the cardiovascular system, your heart and blood vessels, leading to higher blood pressure or metabolic issues like diabetes later in life. The good news? Understanding this science means we can protect the body by changing how we run our households. Part 2. Building the external brain. Environmental superpowers. If a person's internal brain boss is struggling to keep things organized, the worst thing we can do is yell, "Just try harder." That is like asking someone who needs glasses to just look harder. Instead, we build an external brain. We change the house and the environment to do the heavy lifting for them. Here are 4 practical ways your family can transform your home into an ADHD-friendly launchpad. 1. Make time visual. People with regular brains have an internal clock that feels the passage of time. They know what 15 minutes feels like. People with ADHD experience time blindness. To them, time only exists in 2 zones, now and not now. If an assignment is due next week, it feels like not now, so the brain ignores it until it suddenly becomes a now emergency. The strategy: bring home a visual countdown timer. A clock where a bright red disc disappears as time ticks away. Don't say, "You have 10 minutes to clean up." Say, "I'm setting the red disc for 10 minutes. Let's see if we can finish before the color disappears." Put reminders on the wall. Use giant whiteboards in high-traffic areas. Write the daily schedule in bold colors. If it isn't visible to an ADHD brain, it doesn't exist. 2. Create point-of-performance cues. A point of performance is the exact spot where an action needs to happen. For example, the point of performance for brushing teeth is standing in front of the bathroom sink. If an ADHD brain has to leave the bathroom to look for toothpaste in a hallway closet, the train will derail, and they will end up playing with a toy in the hallway instead. The launching pad. Set up a basket or a shelf right next to the front door. This is the official launching pad. Backpacks, shoes, wallets, and keys live here and only here. They go into the basket the second your family member walks through the door, so there is zero panic the next morning. Clear, labeled bins. Hide and seek is a terrible game for ADHD organization. Opaque plastic drawers make objects invisible. Use clear, see-through storage boxes and label them with big words or pictures, e.g. socks, math chargers. 3. Use the body doubling technique. One of the hardest things for an ADHD brain to do is initiate a task. Scientists call this activation energy. Sitting down to do homework or clean a messy room feels like trying to push a giant boulder up a hill. The brain feels overwhelmed by all the steps and freezes. The strategy. Use a magic trick called body doubling. You don't have to do the chore for them, and you don't even have to teach them. You simply sit quietly in the room with them while they work. You can read a book, fold laundry, or work on your own computer. Your calm physical presence acts like an anchor, helping their brain focus and stay grounded on the task. 4. Give directions like a video game. If you give an ADHD child a string of instructions, go upstairs, put your shoes away, grab your science textbook, and wash your hands, their working memory will drop the ball by step 2. They will get upstairs, forget why they are there, and start playing with Lego bricks. The strategy. Break commands into single, bite-sized steps. Wait until step 1 is completely finished before giving step 2. Use high-energy, positive feedback immediately when they finish a step, just like leveling up in a game. Part 3. Fueling the whole body. Nutrition and sleep habits. Because an ADHD body processes energy and internal clocks a little differently, keeping our bodies healthy requires a unique game plan. When the body is well fueled and rested, those fast-moving brain trains naturally become much easier to drive. Let's look at the 2 biggest physical challenges families face: nutrition and sleep. First, let's talk about nutrition and eating. The big ADHD challenge here is that low dopamine levels constantly trigger intense cravings for sugar and fast energy. Think of it like the brain screaming for a quick chemical jumpstart. To make things trickier, some ADHD medications can totally wipe out a person's appetite during the school or workday. This can lead to intense hunger and overeating late at night when the medicine wears off. Our family game plan for this is what I call the protein shield. Try serving protein-rich foods, like eggs, nuts, cheese, or Greek yogurt, first thing in the morning and right after school. Protein acts like a slow-burning fuel block. It stabilizes blood sugar levels and actually provides the raw building blocks the brain needs to create its own focus chemicals. Second, we have to look at bedtime and sleep. The biological challenge here is that an ADHD body's internal clock is naturally delayed. The brain simply resists shutting down at night, leading to hours of tossing, turning, and absolute exhaustion the next morning when the alarm goes off. Our family game plan to conquer the night is the screen sunset. We need to completely turn off all bright, flashing screens, like phones, tablets, and video games, 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. Instead, try using a fan or a white noise machine in their bedroom. This gives their buzzing ears a quiet, steady sound to focus on, making it much easier for the mind to finally drift off. The snack strategy. Another great trick is keeping low-friction, healthy snacks completely accessible. If a person with ADHD has to peel fruit, wash a bowl, or cook something, their brain will often decide it takes too much energy and skip it to grab a bag of chips instead. Keep pre-washed fruit, cheese sticks, and nuts right at eye level in the fridge so healthy choices are the easiest choices. Part 4. Changing the conversation. Compassion is a medicine. Living with an ADHD brain can be incredibly frustrating, both for the person who has it and for the family members living around them. Children with ADHD often receive thousands more negative comments and corrections throughout their childhood than their peers. Over time, this constant criticism can lead to anxiety, depression, and a feeling that they are broken. The absolute most powerful tool your family has is a shift in how you talk to each other. Separate the person from the symptom. When your family member forgets a chore, loses an expensive item, or gets overwhelmed and has an emotional meltdown, take a deep breath and remind yourself, they aren't trying to make me mad. Their brain boss is just short on fuel right now. When you stop treating a symptom of a neurodevelopmental condition as a behavioral choice, the anger in the household drops dramatically. You stop fighting against each other and start working as a team against the problem. Conclusion: driving the train together. ADHD is a complex journey that touches every single layer of physical and mental health, but it is not a dead end. With the right medical care, an organized home that reduces brain friction, healthy physical habits, and a massive dose of family compassion, that fast-moving bullet train can achieve incredible things. People with ADHD are often some of the most creative, empathetic, innovative, and adventurous thinkers on the planet. By upgrading your family's daily playbook, you aren't slowing their train down, you are just helping them build the best, safest tracks to run on. A quick note for parents and siblings. Being part of an ADHD support crew takes a lot of energy. You cannot pour water from an empty cup. Make sure you take time for your own hobbies, rest, and health. A happy, calm caregiver is the best tool a person with ADHD can ever have. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to continue exploring the deep science of health and happiness, make sure to hit that subscribe button for the Health Inquiry.